Good morning. It has been a while since I've made a video and I would apologize, but I don't want to just make a video just to do it. I did write down a list of things that I will do in the following weeks, but nothing seemed so important for that exact moment. So today we're going to do kind of a vlog style video. I know, so boring. I'm getting a tattoo today. That's one of the benefits from being an apprentice in a tattoo studio. So we have two guest artists from Sweden that are visiting for a few months, I think. Pia and Mikael. I'll leave their information down below in the description if you want to check them out. But I wanted to bring you all along today to see a little bit of what I've been doing while I'm not making videos, so that you know that I'm still alive and I'm still doing the same thing, maybe a little different, but I'm still chugging along, trying to figure out life, getting some stability in my life. And for me, number one was going to a psychologist. And then number two, or kind of parallel to that, was finding another career, because as you all know, maybe you don't, if you don't, welcome to my channel. Being a priest was everything. You give up everything and your whole career, money, everything is put into becoming a priest. And then when I left, it was like, what am I going to do with this degree that I get from the seminary, which isn't even actually an accredited degree? Maybe if it was a real accredited program, I might be able to use a diploma or something in order to get into another school or something. Basically, my 7 years at the seminary were practically useless in the real world, except for being a priest in that community. So beginning again, it's been a challenge, but I think things are moving in the right direction. I'm slowly figuring things out, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself, because in my past, I was so sure about everything and my direction and what I believed, that when I left and I didn't have that foundation, I felt like I had to get it really quickly. I had to latch on to something that seemed to be stable. But because of how everything went down, I didn't trust people. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my own judgment about things. It's been a process. It's been a long process. But for anybody in that type of position, I think it's just important to realize that don't expect yourself to figure everything out now. So welcome to my normal day. I woke up, I fed the animals and made coffee. And then, as I've been doing for the past few weeks, I put on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. I don't know if anyone else is following it, but I've always loved the court and how the lawyers, how they present stories in order to get favor for their client, and just the whole back and forth and seeing what technique is working, which one's not, and then the surprise ending that maybe people didn't expect. It's really exciting. I could never do it. I would never, ever be a lawyer, but I can appreciate it. Leave a comment down below if you too are following the trial, and tell me who you think is winning at the moment. I mean, I just look at them both and I think, those poor people. Johnny Depp is like a rock star, and he's just lived his life in excess, just doing all this stuff. And Amber Heard, with everything that came out from the psychologist, I think it was a psychologist from Johnny Depp's side, talking about her mental state, it made me feel sorry for her to a point. Just because you have those type of issues doesn't mean that you are not culpable of your actions. It's really hard to stay neutral. I think I'm doing a pretty good job, because I really just look at them as like foreign people that live lives that I will never live. I never want to live. I don't look up to them as any sort of beacon of morality or anything. And so I'm just enjoying the ride. So, like I said, woke up, did all of that. Yesterday, I made lunch for myself, which I forgot to bring. And whenever you get a tattoo, it's important to eat very well. I did last week get another tattoo from another artist. I guess they just looked at me and they're like, fresh skin, because a lot of them have their whole bodies tattooed up. So, but it's things that I want and I wanted. It's not like I just let them do whatever. So they're doing from here to my elbow. I gave him, it's Mikael, I gave him some images of things that I love, and I love the art and everything, and he just put it together, made up this design that was so much better than I had in my head, which is incredible for me because as an artist, it's hard for me to appreciate other artists. Like, I don't know what it's not ego. It's not like my idea is always the better one. It's not like that, but I know what I like type of thing. And it's hard for me to let other people interpret what I want. But Mikael, he produced this image and it's like, it blew my mind. It like hit me right in my heart. And so we're going to start that today. It's going to take a while. It's very detailed. It's realistic. I'm not going to show the full design. I'm going to wait till the end to do this. So you'll have to wait. So another thing that I don't think I've ever told anyone online is that I have to take levothyroxine every morning, and I'm gonna have to take it for the rest of my life because I don't have a thyroid. So when I was in the seminary, I was home for vacation and I noticed when I would put my head back like this, which isn't very often, you don't do this a lot, right? Make this type of, but in the mirror, I was doing that. Maybe I was shaving or something. And I noticed here, there was this bulge that came out every time I did that. And it was probably like that big, like it just came out a little bit. And both of my parents are nurses. So they looked at it, my dad looked at it and said, oh, it's probably a goiter, which is just like a fatty tumor on your thyroid. So you just get it out and then there's no issue. Went to a few doctors and they said it was too big to do a thorough biopsy. So the best option was to go in and cut out, sorry, it's been so long. Oh, that's right. This is what the plan was. They were gonna cut it open, do a test while I'm still there with my neck open. And then if they found anything in the tumor, they were just going to take out my thyroid in that moment. And so they looked through it, nothing, sew me back up. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to do a more thorough test, and we'll call you. But we thought, okay, it seems like everything's fine. Get home a week later, 10 days later, we get a call from the doctor. I answer it, and he says, we found 3 parts of the part of the tumor that we cut out that is positive for cancer, thyroid cancer. It was devastating. My mom was right there. We both started crying because we didn't have any idea what that meant exactly. Long story short, thyroid cancer is probably one of the easiest cancers to deal with. There's a special treatment, radioactive iodine, because the thyroid is the organ that absorbs iodine. I didn't know that. So they give you radioactive iodine, which was crazy. Well, first we had to go to a specialist to take out my thyroid completely, and then take out a lot of lymph nodes because they had found that the cancer had spread to the lymph nodes. So took all of that out. They said like over 100 lymph nodes. I didn't even know there was that. Anyway, devastating. Like this whole experience is devastating. I had to stay home from the seminary at this point. So then with the radioactive iodine, I'm in a room by myself and this guy comes in a suit with like, you know, ET, and with a metal box. I think it was like steaming, or maybe that was just in my head. Like it was cold. So it had like the not steam, you know what I'm talking about. It was smoking. And then he opens it up and there's like a little box with 2 yellow pills. And he picks them up with like a clamp thing and puts them in a cup, and then I have to take it. I'm like fully exposed there. He's in the suit and everything, and I'm just like, you know, what's this doing to me? They actually tell you that you can do it one more time in your life, but after that, it does too much damage. But it did damage to me doing that, but the benefit outweighed the damage. We were thinking, you know, because everything worked out. We didn't have the money, but then something happened where money was provided. There was some sort of grants that we fell into. There was some connection. Like everything just fell into place. I think the radioactive iodine each one costs like $4,000 or something like that. And of course none of it's paid by insurance. I don't even know if I was on my parents' insurance at that point. I think I was. Thank you, Obamacare. But we thought, oh, everything's working out. God must really want me to be a priest. He's providing we're trusting in him. He's providing all of this for us. Isn't this great? You know, just like when I almost died. I almost died when I was in the seminary. Not in the seminary, but during my time at the seminary. I was camping with my family when I almost died from a hornet sting. You know, it was the same thing. Like, God must really want me to be a priest. He's keeping me alive, and he's giving me all this suffering so that I will know how to be a priest and how to suffer, because I can get through this. I can get through challenging things that most people don't have to go through in their life. And when you have rose-tinted glasses on, everything you see is rose colored. You can interpret everything from a certain perspective depending on what you have decided to put on. So yeah, that was my cancer story. So yesterday, Mikael was, I'll insert some videos right now. Last night he was working on the stencil. So after you have the design, what people do is they get the exact size of that design and they cut it out and they use like transfer paper. It's a special type of paper, and they make a stencil as like a guide. The method that he used to do the stencil, he drew over the picture but with the transfer paper under, but he would do different pressure on the paper, so the intensity of the purple from the transfer paper depended on the pressure that he put on. So it like created like this portrait that he's gonna put on my skin, put on my arm, and then use that as a guide to do the tattoo. It'll be interesting to watch him do this tattoo. Wait till you see the tattoo. Wait till you see the design. For anybody that knows me, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is totally you. Well, I think so. Anyway. I do have to say about this whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing, that I was thinking, okay, when you have two parties like that and they're saying two separate things, there's got to be a truth, like an objective truth. I remember I was talking to a friend not too long ago about the fact that because we were both in the same community, and I was telling him when we were with all those people, there was a certain standard like a commonality that we all followed, that we all believed. Following that, there was a certain expectation. Obviously, people failed, and all of that, like human frailty or whatever you want to call it, fallen human nature. But here, people don't have the same standards of morality, and even now in our time, people don't even believe in objective truth. Especially now, people are very fixed on the, well, this is how I see things, this is my truth, and that's your truth. And it's totally subjective. And so you can have somebody get on the stand. I mean, this is just one example, but you can have somebody get on the stand and say things that are complete lies, and there's no consequences. For me before, it was like, well, maybe you can get away with it. Now, the second that you die and meet your maker, you know, you'll have to make up for everything that you do. So it's interesting trying to maneuver in the world that doesn't have the same ideas, the same principles. I don't know if any of you have thought of similar things or have come across that in your experiences leaving religion. Sorry about all the noise. I'm right next to the road, a weird angle because I don't want to put up my phone because it might get stolen. So now we're coming up to the studio, and this has been my home for the past, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months now. My master, Lokoti, he has given me keys to the shop because I always get here super early. I'm really excited to show you where I work. It's actually pretty calm here. We don't have a lot of people that come through, which is a little unfortunate. I'd like to have as many people come as possible so that I can do more and more tattoos, but I'll show you right now just some photos of some tattoos that I've been doing. Some of them simple, some of them a little bit more complicated. And this is the mirror that we have people come to check out their tattoo. Ready for look of the day? So one of the guys here, Mayor, he's actually leaving soon. He did this first, and anybody who is Catholic will know immediately what this is. Sweaty. And then he just did this last week, and as you can see, it's kind of peeling. Little fuzz. That's nice. And then today we're gonna put mine here on this arm, which is completely free. Working in a tattoo studio has been a learning experience. It's been a while since I've worked with other people because, as you might already know, I was teaching English. I was doing private classes, so it was just me, like a freelance. And before that, the only time I was working with people was as a priest. So it's definitely a different vibe coming into a tattoo studio. You meet a lot of different characters, and but it's all good. You know, one thing that I have learned the hard way is to not give everything to everyone, not to open up too much, to have boundaries with people. And when I come here, you know, I talk to people, I'm friendly. They might tell me things that are going on in their life, which is fine. I'll open up about a few things, but they don't know everything that's happening. They don't even know a big piece of what's happening in my life, because I like to keep things separate. I'm here to work, but I'm also like, a tattoo studio is interesting because we're here so long. We have so many hours together, and there's not a lot of people. You do grow to become close to the people, but in some aspects, it's been challenging, um, because I don't know, like the typical like tattoo life, um, like drinking, going out, kind of living a loose life. That's not me at all. And so I've been here learning, getting my technique, but um, like this isn't. I don't think this is the the pace of life that I want to have for my life. I prefer to have a more professional approach to tattooing. Maybe one day with my own studio to be able to do that. But anyway, it's been a learning process. It's actually a really good location. We're on the second floor, so a lot of people here just drive by. So I just want to show you, for people who are interested, my station. This is where I'm located. Everybody has their own station, and my boss is right there, so he can see everything that I'm doing and keep an eye on me, which is fine. I prefer to be by the window with light. So I organized all of this. Here's the machines that I'm using. I fold all of these towels all the time. And then here's some stuff that I'm just working on. I was working on some lettering. This is one. Just doing some practice. Inmarcesible, which means unfading. I thought that was a cool word to do. Oh, this was from a tattoo that I did a few weeks ago. And here's some other lettering. I'd love to do lettering in the future. Yeah. Guadalajara, if anybody wants that in their abdomen or their back. Familia. I'm going to just clean up a little bit, and then hopefully the guys show up, and then we can start this tattoo. To come into the bathroom because it's really loud outside, and maybe even with the music I'll get copyright claimed. But I just wanted to give a little bit of the meaning behind the tattoo and show you officially the design, even though you just saw the stencil. Alright, so it's Mary Magdalene on top, and then we have from Doré, Gustave Doré, the Lucifer, and from his expression, it's like he's in agony and like a fallen angel. Like he isn't completely like super demonic looking yet. He still has the beauty of being the right hand man of God, but he has the devil wings, just like in the etching of Doré. And then obviously Mary Magdalene, she's in ecstasy because she's now contemplating everything that happened in her life. So everything is this the mirror's dirty, but I hope this is good. So everything's gonna lighten up and smooth out. That little beauty mark on her is actually a pimple or something, so that'll be gone. So we did the whole part. Look at that hand. So painful, but so worth it. Thank you, Mikael at Strange Tattoo. All right, so I'm gonna go get ready for work. Let me know down below what you think of the tattoo, the process, the symbolism of what I got, and all of that. And let me know your experiences, any questions or whatever. And I'll, man, Oh, I think the aftermath of getting a tattoo is rough, but totally worth it in the end. So, I'll see you next time. I'm gonna be doing a live soon, so keep an eye out on my channel. I'm also gonna be doing a movie reaction about The Exorcism of Emily Rose. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. And one last shot of Aslan. Say goodbye. I heard that when cats close their eyes when you're around, that means that they trust you. Oh. Say like and subscribe.